Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. For this video, I'm going to start a series in which I will be reviewing episode by episode of a fantastic horror TV series that I first watched in the autumn of 1980, and it continues to rank right up there as one of my all-time favourite horror TV series. Now, as you will know, if you've been watching my videos, I'm a huge Hammer horror fan. And not only do I love all the Hammer horror movies starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, I also love this, fantastic little series from 1980, and that is called The Hammer House of Horror. Now, this is a special boxed edition that I got from the Australian company Imprint and that, and this is the best edition I've had so far because unlike previous editions I've had of this awesome series, this has got like loads of special features, commentaries and that, and I love the packaging as well, because each so many episodes come in these wonderful discs and that. So to get the ball rolling for this series of episode reviews, I'm going to start with the very first episode that was shown on British television in September 1980, and that episode is called Witching Time. Now this stars Patricia Quinn as the witch Lucinda, John Finch as the main male protagonist, and Ian McCulloch. So basically, I'll read you the. I've got the disc here anyway. I'll just read you the synopsis, and I'll talk a little bit more about the episode in depth and give you my thoughts on it as a whole. Okay, so as I say, part one is Witching Time. A bewitching young witch from the past brings spine-chilling horror into the 20th century and to the present occupants of the farmhouse in which she was born in 1627. So there you go, guys. There's a short, little photo of his wife. The main protagonist's wife. Yeah, he's actually a composer of quite appropriately horror movies. Yeah, he writes horror movie soundtracks. Yeah. So as I say, this was the very first episode of the Hammer House of Horror, and a very good episode. It's a great way to get the series underway. I love the folk horror aspect in that, because it sets the farmhouse is set in the English countryside and that, and then you've got this witch that comes into modern day Britain from the 17th century Lucinda. She wreaks absolute havoc on this guy who's got the farmhouse. This musician played brilliantly by John Finch. And so I love the idea. Love the idea of a 17th century witch, coming into modern day Britain and that, and causing all sorts of problems for this guy and that. The acting was very good solid storyline, and all sorts of batty things happen in this episode, from animals mysteriously going missing and never being heard of again, the usage of voodoo dolls, and then the bathwater fills up with blood, and then the witch and that, she's sort of like, she actually has a relationship with this, well, it's sort of like a carnal, shall we say, a carnal relationship with this guy, and she leaves a mark on his body and that, and I also like the eternal triangle aspect, because he's got a friend, this doctor played by Ian McCulloch, from the Survivors and the zombie movies, and he summons him to the cottage and that, and tells him about this witch and that. But when the doctor gets there, he's locked her in the room. When the doctor gets there, she's vanished and that. But I don't want to go on too much about it because it's only an hour-long episode and that. But that's the basic story anyway, guys, about this witch from the 17th century coming into modern day Britain. She's trying to claim this guy, as what you could say, I suppose you could say, sex slave, really. But Patricia Quinn, she's really on the money playing this witch and that, this sinister sensual witch, and I say it's a great way to open the series and that, it really is. I must warn you guys, there's some here and there, there's some scenes of rather blatant nudity. So if you take a dim view of bare flesh, you would be well advised to shut your eyes. Oh, missus. Very entertaining episode and that. I really enjoyed it. It was very well written. I love the English countryside, and this witch, and she's got this big mop of corkscrew hair and that, and she's really believable, as this witch from years ago, Lucinda Jessup. And but yeah, if you like witchcraft, any stories with a witchcraft premise, you will enjoy Witching Time. And as I say, it's a great way. It was a great way to kick off this awesome series. Hammer House of Horror. I've got fond memories of watching this in the autumn of 1980, and I always remember I couldn't wait to see the next episode. Yeah, granted, there are some episodes that are a little bit, they're not as strong as others, but as the series, as you watch more and more of this series, guys, you will see, me comments on what I think of each particular episode. But this is a great one, Witching Time. It really is, yeah. And as I say, that's his wife there, yeah. And it basically does everything she can to try and sort of like get her husband back from out of the clutches of this powerful, almost demonic witch. As I say, played brilliantly by Patricia Quinn, yeah. Right, then, on to my final thoughts on the episode as a whole. Yeah, I'd say thoroughly enjoyed it. The acting was solid, great storyline, great premise, great atmosphere, especially if you like witchcraft movies and that, witchcraft stories. I was not bored once watching this episode. It was good to see Ian McCulloch. It was good to see Ian McCulloch sort of like appearing as the doctor, rather slimy doctor, because I used to love watching him in The Survivors of 1975 when he played the hero, Greg. Yeah, and of course there's the Italian zombie movies he did. I think he'd done about 3 of those. Yeah, great. Yeah, very, very fine actor, Ian McCulloch. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that's my review of the very first episode of the Hammer House of Horror, Witching Time. What do you think of this episode? Do you like it? What do you think of the series as a whole, Hammer House of Horror? I'd be very interested to hear. Leave your comments down below. But this one, as I say, it's a great way to get the ball rolling in terms of this series, which went on, all too shortly for me. I do believe they were going to do another series, but it fell through. And a couple of years later, they did they done the Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense, which I hope they do release a Blu-ray box set of that, if not a DVD. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed the opening video of this series and that. Where I review, in sort of like in chronological order when they were screened, the episodes of the 1980s series, the Hammer House of Horror. Okay, if you like, if you like the video, leave your comments down below, and please feel free, share, subscribe, and that. And I will be back very, very shortly with a full review of episode 2 of the Hammer House of Horror. Take care. Speak to you all soon. Thanks.